Howdy folks. You might remember a few weeks ago I made a little short horror movie about the ice frog. You should go check that out if you haven't seen it. I thought I would just talk a little bit more about the ice frog. There's more to it. Okay, so a little while back, a friend of mine, Rachel, gave me a treasured family heirloom. It's this ice sculpture in the shape of a frog, like vintage, I don't know, 1970 something. You know, just judging by the graphic design, it looks like it's maybe mid 70s, late 70s. It's this sort of blue plastic rubber, I guess. It's flexible. And the idea is you put these like skewers through these holes in here. You put some skewers through there, and you can sort of suspend that over a bucket or something. Fill this with water, and you'll get a ice sculpture once you pull it out of the mold. It works great, but it does make cloudy ice, obviously. Now, I thought there must be a way to make clear ice out of this. I didn't want to poke a hole in the top. I didn't want to ruin this family heirloom of Rachel's. So I thought of a different way. So I just filled the mold. I put it inside my mini igloo cooler. And if you can get all the air bubbles out and fill it just with water, you can just sort of tip it up, and the top bit, the head bit that's sticking out of the water in the cooler will still be filled with water. It won't drain out or anything. Atmospheric pressure, I guess. Then you can freeze it like that, and all this stuff at the top will all freeze clear. The bottom will be whatever, but I thought I can just cut the head off, and I'll just fuse it to a ice cylinder. Just melt the sort of seam. If you sort of melt the bottom of the head and the top of the cylinder you're putting it on, you can get those to melt a little bit by putting them on like a cookie sheet or a frying pan, and then stick them together. Stick them in the freezer, they'll freeze right together. And there you go, clear ice frog. So I got my clear ice, it's working great, and I thought I would make y'all a cocktail. I needed to find a frog-themed cocktail. I looked through the PDT Cocktail book and came up with the Leapfrog. Gin, lemon, apricot liqueur, simple syrup, and mint leaves. It calls for orange bitters too, but I forgot them. It's okay. No rules. Check it out. Alright, so check this out. Now, this is supposed to be served in a chilled coupe. Obviously, I'm using a frog because I got a frog. It's not supposed to have a garnish, but I put a lemon peel scarf around my little frog, and I had all this mint, so I'm throwing some mint on top. You know what? I'll do what I want. Let's give this thing a taste. Ooh. Man. Apricot and gin are great. This is tart, minty. I love it. It reminds me a lot, actually, of a drink that I made up a few years ago called the Hotel Dunaway cocktail, which is also gin, also lemon, also apricot. But I used, instead of mint, I used chamomile syrup, which is also delicious. This is actually very similar. But anyway, check out that frog. He looks awesome. I did not freeze him to the bottom like I did on the ice bear, but I thought I'll just put some straws in. Mint just lends such a summery vibe to everything. I love it. The lemon and apricot are nice and tart. I think it's sweet enough though. And that gin is pretty, pretty bold gin, but it doesn't really compete in this. It isn't overwhelming anything, and I even put 2 ounces in, so I think this is a good drink. Good job, Jim Meehan. Yeah. Good choice. Go me. Fun to make clear ice frogs. So if you need a frog-themed cocktail, Leapfrog is a winner. Apricot and lemon are a definite good combination. If you want to do that in any other context, I would recommend it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Go ahead and watch my horror movie if you haven't seen it yet. I would love that if you did. And we'll see you next time. Ice frog. Ice frog. Not a baked potato. Going out for a jog. Ice frog. Ice frog. Ice frog.